Okay, we have so much good data on our SMX Insider show, we couldn't fit it into the regular episode. So, welcome to SMX Insider Extra with our statman, Clinton Fowler. We're talking the closest Supercross finishes in history. And the reason why, well, we had one of the closest ever in Tampa over the weekend, Clinton.
Yep, Hunter Lawrence gave us quite the show on Saturday night in Tampa. The second closest race in the history of recorded history here since 2003. He was a mere 0.134 seconds in front of Nate Thrasher when they crossed that line. Pretty impressive. I think the thing that really sticks out for me, guys, he went from 12th at the start to 6th at the end of the first lap to win this race. He was fastest in 8 of the last 9 laps over Nate Thrasher. And in the last lap, he gained 2.5 seconds on him. I mean, an incredible ride. Hunter just comes, and of course, on the other hand of it, you got to feel for Nate Thrasher, who leads the entire race, almost wire to wire. But yeah, Hunter puts in basically an incredible ride, and we get a photo finish, the second closest in history.
Jason, when you look at the top, Arlington, the rider that we remember in that moment was Cooper Webb, right? Last corner, makes the move, drag race to the finish line. And from that race and many others, we give him the title of having the clutch gene, right? He's the guy with the clutch gene. He's that guy. Hunter reminds me of that in a little bit. Like, I've always felt that he kind of had that same style, but now we actually have some numbers to back up that he's the same guy. To be in the last corner, make the move, drag race to the finish line. That's Cooper Webb-esque, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think Hunter's got that little bit of saltiness to him as well. He doesn't doubt himself, kind of the same way Webb is when he starts getting on a roll. So, yeah, that's right. He kind of needed that signature moment to really pound it home. You want to pull the graphic up again? What are some of these other races? We all remember Arlington with that Webb versus Roxon. What are some of the other ones in here? Houston. Oh, that was Trey Kennard's first ever win, I believe, right? 2011?
Yep, Trey Kennard over Ryan Dungey. An impressive last finish there by Trey in the 450s.
Mm-hmm. And then San Diego 2013. Which one was that?
That is Tomac over Roxon.
And that's in the 250 days, the 250F days for those two.
Yep, indeed. And you know what? I want to bring up one thing. We're not going to see it in the top 5 here, but if you actually look at the top 10, we're talking about Webb and his racecraft. If you look at the top 10 in just the 450 class, guys, Webb is in 6 of those top 10 closest, and he wins 4 of them. So you were highlighting that. We're talking about closest finishes. I've got to call out the fact that Webb seems to just have a knack for coming to those. Maybe Hunter ends up joining him in that racecraft piece.
Yeah. Okay, so he's in 6 of the 10. 4 of them he won. But don't think at home that means that he lost 2 close races, meaning he didn't deliver. Daniel, it's because he was gaining so massively at the end, he almost pulled off a win that he shouldn't have pulled off. You even mentioned it at the Triple Crown in Anaheim too, Daniel. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's got Sexton in his sights in like the last 2 turns.
He has a tendency late in races to just sneak up onto the back tire of somebody, even when the race is kind of a foregone conclusion, it's over. Maybe he's a stat patter. I don't know. Hey, but I will say this. If we're going to give Cooper Webb a lot of credit for these close finishes, I feel like it wouldn't be good to pass up on the fact that Ken Roxon, 2 of those 5, was on the losing end of those close finishes. Sorry, Kenny, but stats are stats.
Yeah, that's right. And interesting to think that Tomac and Roxon have been battling for a decade now, with great battles in this sport. But when you think about it, actually starts to make sense because they've been at each other's throats for a long time. Okay, that's SMX Insiders Extra. Thanks for the stat, Clinton. We'll see you at Race Day Live in Oakland.